And so if you can come up with good tax strategies that isn't just buy a truck, isn't just spend more money on equipment or whatever and buy new office stuff, if you can actually be smart and efficient with your tax strategy, I promise you're going to be much more abundant mentally about making a lot more money and being able to keep that money. And so my advice would be to get with very specific 1099 business entrepreneur tax strategists, not just the person at the H&R Block that's been doing your taxes maybe for the last 10 years, but somebody that actually knows how to help strategize for 1099. All right, I'm calling out all business owners right now. My name's Sam Taggart, and I've consulted over 250 businesses. And what's crazy is looking for little holes or little opportunities when I go to companies. And sometimes it's like a millimeter difference goes a long ways, just like golfing. It's when you adjust somebody's golf swing, and all of a sudden they're not slicing it into the freaking weeds and they're hitting it down the fairway. It's a lot more fun to play golf. And I find a lot of times with businesses, it's just a small minor change or a gap that you're not seeing just because of your blind spots might make a big difference. And so I'm gonna share a technique that I've just uncovered to make free money from the government. And this one's called the ERC credit. And the ERC credit is much like the PPC money, except instead of a loan, it's just a credit from the government. Now it takes about 8 months to get your money, but if the government's willing to approve you for free money, might as well submit for that. So I'm gonna click the link below and go fill out an application, and it doesn't cost you anything to apply. It doesn't cost you anything to get it. And it's just, might as well take advantage of the money. So the reason why a lot of people are sitting here in this whole political gamut and they're back and forth, whether you're Republican or Democratic or whether you're for Trump or not, or whatever this is, in my opinion, we get to take advantage of the laws that are currently in place. And the first technique I'm gonna tell you is the ERC credit. If the government's gonna give money to certain businesses with W-2 employees, might as well be your business. So some business is gonna get the money and they're gonna cap out and they're gonna run out of money and they're gonna say, hey, we're done giving this money away. So my question would be, if you can apply now and you can go get that money, then why wouldn't you? And they've already allocated the budget. So that's tip number one for business owners, is go apply, click the link and apply for the ERC credit. Tip number two is you need to have a tax saving strategy. Now, a lot of people are afraid to recoup money out of their business because they're always reinvesting money back into their business. And their maybe accounts go up and down or stuff like that, but then they never feel like they can pay themselves because they don't want to pay taxes on it. And a lot of times you're not even paying yourself and you're making a lot of profit in the business and you're paying taxes on the profit in the business. And so you're sitting there going, well, I didn't make any of this and I'm paying what in taxes? And you're like, oh my gosh. And it can be a sticker shock when you're first running a business, and it can almost be demotivating. It's like, I don't want to crush it in business and then have to pay all this money in taxes. And so if you can come up with good tax strategies that isn't just buy a truck, isn't just spend more money on equipment or whatever and buy new office stuff, if you can actually be smart and efficient with your tax strategy, I promise you're going to be much more abundant mentally about making a lot more money and being able to keep that money. And so my advice would be to get with very specific 1099 business entrepreneur tax strategists, not just the person at the H&R Block that's been doing your taxes maybe for the last 10 years, but somebody that actually knows how to help strategize for 1099. For example, a very simple tip would be, a corporate home office where you can write off, let's say you paid yourself based on square footage of home, $2,000 a month, for example, where you just take it from one account and you pay it to another account, and it's not like you lost the money, but to the government, it's you use your home office. And especially with COVID, it's like, yeah, I'm doing a video at my house right now. I'm doing calls at my house. Therefore, I need an office space to do that and facilitate that. And what's a reasonable rent rate? Okay, I'd pay $2,000 to go get a little office space downtown, or I could just call it my house. So that would be a technique. The other one is real estate. So if you're married and your wife, you could maybe put, or husband, you could put as what's called a designated real estate professional. And this person, as long as they have enough time allocated to real estate on paper, then they can actually run what we call a cost seg, and you can accelerate the depreciation on your real estate. Now you're like, well, what is depreciation? So any asset, any real estate asset depreciates, meaning you need to replace the walls and the roof and things like that. Therefore, they give you a tax write-off called depreciation, and most of the time it's banked over 27 and a half years. Well, you can accelerate that according to the tax laws and do it over 5 or bring it all up front. So up front could be a jet, a big truck. Those are quick accelerated depreciation things. That's where it gives you a big write-off. Well, if you can do it over 5 years with a big commercial property, a house, a multifamily, then all of a sudden your tax liability goes from I have to pay $100,000 to literally nothing. And I've been able to practice these and avoid paying the government a lot of money due to the fact that I've been investing in real estate for a long time. Now, third tip is to audit your software and systems. And these tips are ones that you probably don't think about a lot of times. So leverage the credits and incentives out there. Number 2 is save money on tax and don't be dumb. You want to keep your money, not just give it all to the government. And number 3 is leverage the software and tech. I go to a lot of companies that they're maybe blue collar startups with the roofers or concrete or construction or solar. And I'm finding a lot of people have not AI or automated or built follow-up and upsell and referral and dead lead rehash campaigns, and to the point where I literally created my own software called vanillamessage.com. So also click the link down below if you're interested in a text AI follow-up system. So in this, you would build out automation to where one lead comes into your system and then it does a lot of things. It adds it to your CRM. It then sends them down an email, it sends them down a text, it triggers your sales guy, it notifies this, it does, you know what I mean? It's doing all the things automatically for you instead of you banking on, manual human beings to sit there and remember, call, oh, I made 50 calls today. I'm like, did you really make 50 calls? I would challenge those kind of systems. And as long as I can make a robot do a lot of the leg and boring and heavy lifting, then I can bring in the human capital to just put the polish and the finishing touches up and maybe get on the phone or go show up to a home or, whatever that takes. But I want to make it so dumb, simple, streamlined that I could bring in a very inadequate, low-paying employee to follow my system because I've gotten software that cost me maybe $300 a month or $600 a month instead of an employee that might cost me $4,000 or $6,000 a month. I'd much rather do that. And so the last tip I want to bring up is business is made of 3 things. It's either make more money, save on money, or save on taxes. And so that's really how you make money in this business and wealth, etc. And so I always say sales is the cure-all, right? Sales cures all, but managing expenses and overhead. I watch a lot of businesses get caught up on spending money on the wrong things. It's like you spent so much money on shirts, hats, cards, websites, all this stuff that really doesn't drive revenue. And if I can allocate some of your budget and maybe live a little bit more on the frugality side and put it into people, put it into process, put it into things that are going to generate leads, it's going to generate revenue, I promise all of a sudden you'll start seeing an uptick in your business. And these might all sound like dumb, simple, basic tips for business owners, but I'm telling you right now, overlooking a lot of companies, they focus so much on the wrong things and they spend money on the wrong things. And I'm like, dude, just reallocate a little bit over here, a little time over here, a little bit more energy over here, and you're gonna see a big return. My name is Sam Taggart. I hope you guys got a lot out of this. I'm here to help you as a business consultant, as a support, and hit the subscribe button if you guys got a lot of value out of this. I've got tons more videos out there trying to help business owners, sales reps, and recruiters really uptick their businesses. So here to support, much love. See you guys on the next video.